We thinned our flock recently, but we have eggs in the incubator because we want to replace our rooster. The rooster has been injured and gone blind partially, and also pulls all the feathers out of the other chickens. So we're gonna see if we can raise another rooster to replace that rooster. We'll probably do the same with our Rhode Island Reds pretty soon. But I really came over here to look at the mushrooms. They are starting to fruit a little bit. You can see right here, I guess when there's just a few beginning to come up, they call it pinning. There you can see that interesting texture. We have some neighbors that raise cows, and they had one processed recently. So they asked us, do you want any organ meat or any bones or anything from the cow? Because we don't want that stuff. And I said, yes, liver. So I don't remember the last time I ate beef liver. I imagine I did not like it that much. We're gonna take this and freeze dry it and pulverize it and put it in capsules. And then we can take it and get the health benefit without having to cook liver. I guess one of the main recipes I've heard of is liver and onions. And some people say you just can't put enough onions in it to get the liver flavor away. Okay, I got all that turmeric peeled. That's my whole harvest right there. And now I have emoji hands. So now I can give you thumbs up, and give you the okay. Take pictures of these and use them for emojis on your phone. What can I do with two hands? Two thumbs up. The next day looking at the mushrooms, they're getting bigger. I know we haven't even finished cleaning up clutter in the she shed or in my workshop, but there are some things in the house that are annoying. Like games. We have so many games everywhere. Out here in the she shed, we've got them stored in a few places. Inside the house, they're becoming clutter. So I'm going to try to make a little game shelf. It's not going to handle the whole problem, but it will help us, at least inside the house, to start shaping that up. As you can see, we're getting a real rain now. The last rain or two has not been as wet as this one. This one's really soaking the ground good. We're supposed to get a whole lot more rain this afternoon. So this is a rainy day project. Up here in the hayloft, I still have all this lumber that I haven't used to make the batten strips to cover all these gaps in the barn. So I can use a little bit of this to make this cabinet and just get some more later. As I go along here, I'm putting together some ideas in my head. I want to keep this thing simple, but I want it to look nice too. Baby guineas are growing up even more. Now they're learning to, I want to say they're learning to roost on top of the house like the other guineas do. And maybe that's their plan. But being up there in the middle of the day, I'm not sure what they're doing. I had to chase one back in a minute ago. I had to open the fence and let it back in. So maybe they're finding how to jump out. Using the full width board, which is cut down to 11 inches because none of them are fully 12, so I just wanted a rounded number. So I got one of those and then a half of one for each side. You know, I'm making this wide sidewall. I didn't want to put dowels or any way of gluing those two boards together, so I just decided I'm gonna put them on there. And by screwing them to the shelves, I'll be able to make the big wide board. And so that's why I'm putting this board halfway between the seam so that it holds it together at each seam, if that makes any sense. So I think I would call this country carpentry, or I don't know, something like that. I'm not a furniture maker for sure, and I don't even feel like my skill level is at the point where I would call myself a woodworker. But what's cool is a router with a little bit of patience can really make an awesome detail that turns a piece of carpentry into primitive furniture. So I'm happy with that. I'm looking forward to sticking some games on there. There's an update on the mushroom. It's coming up through the package. I think it's supposed to grow about 4 times that big, like maybe this tall or something. I finally got around to taking my sassafras roots and scraping all the bark off of them. Now I'm cutting them up and putting them in this jar to have them ready for tea whenever we want to make some. I found that this works good for just clipping short pieces off the sticks, off the roots. Way we'll have pieces that are small enough to fit inside this little T-ball infuser thingamajig. My dresser really needs organizing, so I threw a towel over it for this video. But now this pile of games that was next to my dresser is very well organized and looks great. I'm proud of this little piece of furniture. The liver's coming out of the freeze dryer. It almost looks wet, but it is completely dry. I'm gonna put that one back in, so I have one here. It is dry, but it feels like it's been lacquered on top or polyurethaned. Underneath, though, is dry and feels like it could turn to powder really easily. Almost feels like wood. So I'm bagging that up.